All right, everyone. I would like to welcome you back to another KevCAM night class tonight. I'm on the road, so it may sound just a little bit different for you guys, but tonight helping out, we got Tim Micah with any questions or concerns that come up for you guys. Tim, are you with us?
I am. Good evening, everybody.
And as well as Greg Payton, our application engineer, that's going to make sure I hit all the talking points so you guys make sure I'm not missing anything for you guys for the night class. So Greg, you with us?
All right, good. Yep, good evening.
All right, so tonight I do see, like I said, I do see a lot of names in here, so I'll have to kind of go through the regular housekeeping stuff. Right now, everybody is in mute. That's just to eliminate any background noise that is going on. But we do encourage you guys to ask questions, and there is a questions panel for you guys. So if you do have a question, go ahead and type that in, and Tim will read it off to me, and I can address your questions right away. Night classes are very laid back and solely dedicated to you guys, so feel free, like I said, to ask as many questions as you would like. And if you guys do have suggestions or ideas that you guys would like to see in the night class, shoot me an email, and we'll add that to the lineup. Now, with that being said, every night class is being recorded for you. So if you guys go to SolidCAM University, you'll see all our night classes in there for you as well. So, all right. With that being said, we will get the ball rolling tonight. And tonight we are going to be covering drill recognition. So we have a part here that has multiple different drilled holes on different levels. And with the drill recognition, what it will do is it will automatically find those holes for you and drill them to the correct size and depth for you. There is some very nice features in there for, say, like a part like this one where we have multiple different hole sizes and diameters to kind of go through and chamfer or spot drill all those to a larger size as well. So we'll be going through everything there is to know about drill recognition tonight. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start our drill recognition. So first thing, excuse me, what I'm going to do is I want to spot drill all these holes in here. So like I said, we have some holes that are 0.625, and we also have some holes that are 0.26. So quite a wide variety of holes that are in there. So what I can do here is I'll go ahead and grab new geometry. And for my first one, since I'm going to want to spot drill all these holes, is I want to grab every single one of these holes on here. So what I'll do is all I have to do is just click on the model and click Find Holes. Now, over on the left is a bunch of filters that I can go through, and I can tell it that maybe I want to filter out by hole diameter, or if I want to filter out by upper level, or if I want to filter out by the hole height, as well as color, as well as a boundary. So you guys can go through and really fine tune your hole picking. But for my spot drill, I want to be able to spot drill everything that is on this part with all the different varying levels. So you can see it groups all the holes together. And I can see all my holes as well as the groups, and the groups are the different sizes. So in my group 1 right here, I got a couple holes. In my group 2, I got quite a few holes in here, and so on and so forth. So I will accept that. And like we were talking about drilling for the last several weeks, we can just come in here and just do select, and we'll grab a spot drill. So I have a 1/2-inch spot drill. Now my levels are is what's going to look different for everyone. So when we've been covering drilling in the past, we have our upper level, lower level. Do we want to go off of the tip? Do we want to go off the full diameter? Or do we want to type in and manually put a diameter in there? Well, since we are doing the drill recognition, we can click on the edit depth right here, and we can go through and modify the depth of all of our groups that are going on right here. So first thing what I'll do is I will switch it over to the auto chamfer. So it's going to automatically chamfer spot all these. So I can come over here and I can tell it to go to auto. And one thing, if you have multiple groups, make sure you click this checkbox for all and apply. So now I've just told it that I want to go through and automatically throw a chamfer on all my holes. Now, what I can do over here is I can put the chamfer diameter that I'm looking for in there. So let's say, you know, my hole right here is the, or my blue one right here is a 266 diameter. So maybe I just want to throw a 10 thou chamfer on everything. So all I can do is get my mouse in there. And somehow my num locks got turned off. All right. So we can do 10 thou chamfer on all my holes. I can do apply all and do apply. So now what I've just told it to do is I've told it to look at all these holes up here with the different groups. I've told it that I wanted to chamfer those to a 10 thou diameter, or another way of saying it is my diameter plus 10 thou. So I'll have a chamfer of 10 thou on there for all my holes. Now, with the 5/8 hole right here, that's a 0.625. So, and I'm only using a 1/2 inch cutter. So that what that will do in that case is it will just spot drill it all the way up to the full diameter for us. So I can hit the green check mark now. And under technology is going to be the exact same thing what you guys have been seeing in the past. So we can just do a G81 cycle, or we can come in here and do a GA2, GA3, whatever drilling cycle that you would like to do. For this one, I will just do a G81. And right now it's going to be going off the sorting of default, but I can do shortest distance. And like I said, this is kind of review for when we're covering drilling before, but, or I can do a advanced, and let's say I just kind of want to do a zigzag pattern, or you know, kind of a S pattern, and I can actually show the sorting pattern that's going through there. So if you guys want to change it up, you can change that to however you guys would like to see that. Excuse me. So with that being said, go ahead and do a save and calculate. And let's go ahead and simulate that real quick. And you can see it's just working its way, doing a zigzag pattern, getting all those in there. So you can see some of these diameters are right there, as well as up here. And I didn't have to pick an upper level or lower level or anything like that. All I did is I told it that I wanted to put a 10 thou chamfer on every hole that was there for you. So any questions with this spot drill at all? Okay. So now let's just go off of color. So like I said, we can filter out our holes by color, size, all that stuff. So I'll kind of go through each one of those. So we'll go ahead and open up our drill recognition again. Grab our new geometry. And let's say I want to go off of hole color. So I can turn on my hole color filter. I can do define, and I'll grab the red. So I've selected the red, and it puts the pigment colors in here for you. So if you have kind of a blend of colors, which we'll cover shortly here, it will automatically put those pigment colors in there for you as well. Now, once I've selected that I want to do all the red holes, I want to click Find Holes. And it will find all the red holes that are in there. And like I said, it doesn't matter the levels or anything like that. It will automatically pick that up for us. So I can hit the green check mark now. And we'll go to Tool, Select. And I have to look through my tools here. I'm looking for a 257. Yep, there it is. So we got our 257 drill. We'll go ahead and hit the green check mark here. And levels. So what it's going to automatically do is it's automatically going to go to the bottom of the part based off of our model here. but I want to go a little bit farther past. So I want to tell it to go to the full diameter of that 257 drill. So I'll do full diameter, and I'll apply that to all, as well as I want to go just a little bit farther past. So I'm going to put a 10 thou delta in there. So that what that's going to do is it's going to tell it to go down to here and go additional 10 thou deeper, so we don't get that little puck that's left on there, or that little cap that's left on there when we're doing our drilling. So we can do all, apply. Now we can go to our technology, and since we're using a smaller drill, I would like to do a Peckham cycle. So we'll do a G83, and I would like to do a 0.1 step down and a 0.1 peck. Now, like I've talked about before, the step down has no effect on the G code at all. It's just going to show you in the simulation. So what we want to do is, if you guys would like to do a 100 thou peck, make sure you have that Q peck set to 100 thou. But like I said, the step down is only for your simulation only. Okay. Now I can save and calculate. And let's go ahead and play that through and see what it looks like here. And I'll slow it down here. So now you can see we're going through and we're peck drilling out all those 257 holes. Speed it up a little bit here. All right, and as long as we're already in here, I can see when I did my spot drill operation in the previous one, or the drill recognition with my spot drill, we can see that 10 thou chamfer that is on there for us. All right, so now we have our drill recognition based off of color. So to show you another way of filtering out stuff, we can also do just a standard old manual way of doing it. So for our geometry, we'll click the new piece of paper here. And let's say there's just a couple holes that I just want to grab. Oops. So let's say I just want to grab those 5/8 holes. And I don't want to grab anything else, but maybe there's other 5/8 holes in here that I do not want it to select. So what I can do at that point is switch it over to manual, and I can come in here and click on the ones I would like to do. There you go. And as with any of the hole recognition stuff, there is the preview button, so we can see what holes that it's grabbing. So I'm happy with that. We'll go ahead and hit resume. Go ahead and hit the green check mark here. And we will go ahead and grab our 625 drill. I may not have that in. Nope, yep, there it is. And we'll go to our levels. And that one does go all the way through like the 257 holes. So I will tell it to do full diameter, apply to all, and do a minus 10 thou again, so we don't get that little cup on there. And for our little bit larger drill, we'll go ahead and do a 200 thou peck. Save and calculate. And let's go ahead and take a look and see what that looks like here. So we can see it did a peck drilling. We went all the way through the part. So we are good to go now. So that is the manual way if you're trying to go through and just cherry pick specific ones in the drill recognition. Now, let's go ahead and base it off of diameter. So let's just do drilled holes off of a certain diameter. So we'll go ahead and do our drill recognition here. We'll hit our new geometry. and I would like to go off of diameter. So I can just turn on the diameter option, and I can come in here and just get your cursor in the field and click on the edge, and it will automatically populate the from and the to diameter. Now, if you wanted to do a range of holes, you can do the 0.166 to, whatever range you would like to go up to. Go ahead and do find holes here. And it's going to go through and find all the holes that are 0.166 in diameter for us. So we can go ahead and grab that 166 drill. And that one does, let's have to look real quick. That one does not go through, so I don't have to worry about modifying our depths or anything like that. And we will do a G83. And since we're running even smaller, it will do a 0.075 pack. All right, save and calculate. And we can look at our solid verify.
Now, Kevin, in the very beginning, when you were doing all these holes by the recognition, you were talking about using a 1/2-inch spot drill, but you had 5/8 holes. Would you use this type of filtering to, let's say, stay below that 1/2-inch hole diameter if that was the size tool you had to use?
Yeah, that's a great point. So what we could do in that chamfer section is just limit it to anything that is a 1/2 inch or smaller to do that chamfer to, as well as filtering out so that when I switch it over to manual, what we could do is manually just grab those 4 5/8 holes and use a larger spot drill at that point, or not use a spot drill at all, whatever you guys are looking for. Is that where you're kind of going with that, Greg?
Yes, it was.
Okay. All right. So now we have our hole recognition based off of diameter. So now let's go ahead and do based off of a diameter and a upper level. So, and the reason why is obviously we would have a blueprint nearby, but if we measure this hole real quick, we are running a 0.260 or 266. And this hole is also the same size. But what's happening here is this is a 5/16/18 hole, so we're going to need to tap it as well. So what we can do is draw recognition again. And we can do by hole diameter. Grab that, and as well as from our upper level. So anything that is on that level, it will automatically find our holes. And if we go ahead and do our preview, we can see that it's grabbing just those holes on that level. So like I said, you guys can filter out whatever you would like in here to grab the holes that you're looking for. We'll go ahead and hit the green check mark here. And we will grab our 257 drill, which is here. Can everyone still hear me? I just heard a ding on my...
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. All right, so we got our 257 drill. Levels, since it's blind hole, I don't have to worry about anything, but we want to go through and do a Peckham cycle. So we'll go ahead and do our G3. Do a 0.1, a 0.1. Save and calculate. And we can do a simulate here. And like I said, it will just grab those holes on that level for us. Let me get this kind of rotated around for you. You can see that it grabbed all those holes. So now, since I've already got that geometry selected, what I can do is just make a copy and we'll switch it over to our tapping cycle. So we will go to our tool, select, and I will go ahead and grab a tap, or I'll add a tap in here. Like I said, it was a 5/16/18. Five. Okay. So now we have our tap. Levels are already going to be set for us. Technology is set up for a tapping cycle, but instead of repeating the same process over, and I kind of talked about this when we went through the standard drilling, is I'll reverse the direction. And let me just turn off this tool path here. So right now, when we drilled it, we're starting here and working our way around this way and coming back through. Now if I reverse it, it will start over here and work its way back over this way. So I will just do a reverse to save a little bit of table travel time. And now if I turn off my drilling, you'll see that we're starting over here now because our red dot's there, and we're working our way back through over this way. Okay. Any questions so far? Any popping up, guys?
Nope, nothing yet.
Perfect. All right. So the last thing I want to show you guys is the drill recognition based off of a funky color. So what we'll do here is do our new geometry. And the reason why I say a funky color is, come on. So this blue-green color right here is not an option in our color chart. So if I come in here, that color does not match up with anything that's down here. So what we can do at that point is I can tell it to pick that color from the model itself. So I'll do pick from model and just click on it, and it will automatically fill in the pigment colors, my green and my blue. And now I can just do find holes. And you'll see that it grabbed all the holes that are that color. If I want, I can do preview. I can see that it's grabbing everything. It for a second it looked like it was grabbing my green one too, but it is skipping over that one. So we got 1, 2, 3 skipping over that tapped hole that we already did. So now we can hit the green check mark here. And we can do a select here. And that is going to be a 266 drill. And I don't have one, so I know I've showed this to you guys in the past, but what I can do is add a new drill, and I can just get my cursor highlighted in there, and I can click on the diameter, and it will automatically populate my 266 drill diameter in there for us. So if you're not sure on what drill to use, you can actually just click right on the hole, and it will auto-populate that diameter for you. Okay, put the green check mark. In levels, it is a blind hole, so I don't have to worry about picking my levels, but we will want to come and do a Peckham cycle. And as I'm kind of going through and putting these Peckham cycles in there, I'm not saying you need a Peckham cycle all the time. It's all based off of the material that you're using or whatever you guys are comfortable with. You know, if you guys are using a through coolant tool, can take a much larger peck or more material than run an air blast or a mister. So like I said, that's all kind of dependent on your guys' machine and your strategy. So we'll go ahead and save and calculate here. All right. And we can see that is our last hole that is left over there. So So I can play that through. You can see we're doing our peck drilling. All right. So now it looks like we have all our holes done. If we want just a quick verification, we can do our stock target comparison. And everything is looking yellow except for our tapped holes. And I kind of went through that in our drilling operation, but any tapped holes that we do are going to show as red just because the threads are cutting oversized in there based off from our threads. Any questions at all? All right, so what we'll do here is, let's go ahead and play this through everything. Oh, one thing I want to mention in here is labeling. You'll see in here, I have a whole bunch of drill recognitions that I have no idea what it is what. So as you guys are building this, and this is trying to teach an old dog new tricks here, I always forget to label, but go through and make sure you're labeling just so you know what's going on. So what you can do is we can open up the operation and name it there, or we can come over here and do a rename, and I can say, you know, spot all holes. That way when we're kind of coming through, I can see what it's doing in that operation itself.
And Kevin, we got a couple questions. One's regarding cosmetic threads, and that's just graphics. So you can maybe comment on that. That doesn't need to be removed.
Yeah, so you guys in SolidWorks, you guys do have the option to do fully, you know, show all the threads, or you can just show it as right here. Let's pick up that. So this one, you know, right here, it's not showing any cosmetics or anything, and that's all based off of the solid model itself. So if I go to my solid model, we'll go ahead and edit that feature. Actually, it's this one right here. 1618, edit the feature. So I have the option right down here to just do tap drill diameter. I can do a cosmetic thread, or I can show all the thread as well. And it's all, it's just more visualization than anything. But if you want to see the entire thread, you are going to use up a little bit more RAM and a little bit more calculation time, because it's trying to represent all the helical entries going down in there. Now, as far as showing threads in the Solid Verify, the only time you will get a shown thread in there in the Solid Verify is if you use a thread milling operation with a thread mill tool that has been created for that. And we'll cover thread milling as well, but in a different class. But that is the only way you'll actually see 100% cosmetic threads inside of your Solid Verify. Does that answer that question?
I think you did. And then there's a follow-up question to that. But before we get to that one, I see a question there from another gentleman wondering about grouping your spot drill, chamfer, tap, kind of like a process template that is maybe something to cover instead of the recognition. Maybe if you want to address that. There is more than one way to skin a cat, is kind of how we say it here in the US. So there's more than one way to machine this part. So what we can do is exactly what you're saying there is we could set up a template to do a spot drill, drill tap for all these, and then go through and reorganize them. But when we're doing the drill recognition right now, what it's doing is it's picking up all the drills that are, or like the spot drills, it's spot drilling every single one to the appropriate diameter. So we can do it as a drill recognition, or we can do it as the old
I shouldn't say the old way, another way of using our drilling operation, like we talked about a couple weeks ago, where we can set it up that way with a spot drill, tap, and then save that out as a template and then reorder everything. Like I said, that's kind of a repeat from a couple weeks ago. Or we can also do like a whole wizard process, and it will automatically find our spot drill, and tap, which we're going to cover in a couple weeks.
There you go.
Is that what they're getting at, Tim?
Yes, I believe so. Yep, that kind of covers it. I figured you'd be able to talk about having another video regarding the process templates.
Yep.
And then back to the cosmetic threads and the a tapped feature. You know, typically SolidWorks is just creating that as a certain sized hole that you have in the model. So it's going to recognize a size that's in the model. I think back to Ronnie's question there, it's when you're doing those searching and filtering for different sizes, it's going to be whatever's shown on the model. So SolidWorks doesn't do the cutting of that different diameter.
Yeah, and it's all going to be based off of, like if we're going through a tapped hole here, go back to edit this. And if I turn on show custom sizing, this is the diameter that's going to populate right here. So it's based off of whatever is in the whole wizard of SolidWorks itself. And this is the number that's going to populate. And it will not show the tap diameter. And that's all based off of SolidWorks. Has really nothing to do with SolidCAM at that point.
There you go. I think that's what we were trying to get at there.
Perfect. All right, so hop out of there again. And we'll go ahead and play everything through just kind of so you can see what we've done so far. And I'll go ahead and throw this on the machine sim. All right, so we have our part on there. So first thing we're going to do is probe up our part. It's doing the pocket recognition real quick here to get the material out. And now we're going through and spot drilling, doing our tapping, and we are done. So, like I said, it's with all the new technologies out there, this is another way of going about and picking multiple different holes at different levels with different diameters in there. If we wanted to get a full out setup sheet of what we did, we can just go to our right click on CAM part, and we can go to tool sheet, and I'll just do I don't have, let's see if it does it here. I switched up some settings because I'm doing on-site training today, so we'll see if it goes through now. See it flashing. Come on.
Didn't your mother tell you shouldn't run with scissors?
Yeah, that's what I'm definitely doing. I forgot, like I said, guys, I was doing the on-site training, and I switched up a bunch of settings in here, so it's I'm not getting the option to do my Microsoft Word document. But on your guys, you'll be able to go through and do a dual setup sheet that way as well. So, all right. Any other questions or anything else that come through, Tim?
Nope. I think that we've covered them.
Greg, am I hitting all the points?
I believe so. I think it's covered quite well.
All right. Well, I just want to apologize everyone for the echoey sound, or because I'm not, like I said, I'm sitting in the hotel and outside St. Louis right now. But next week we'll be back, and we will be covering the multi-depth drilling, which is a new feature that they added in 2019, and going through the ins and outs of that as well. So just want to thank everyone for attending the night class tonight, and like I said, just apologize for the bad sound quality, but next week we'll be back to normal, and like I said, we'll be covering the multi-depth drilling, so don't forget to sign up for that one. And if you guys do have ideas, send those over to me in an email, and we'll send you off some SolidCAM swag as a thank you for helping out. So,
and Kevin,
right,
thank you for the doing the classes, and that multi-depth drilling next week is going to be a good class to see, and you have yourself a great evening. And thank you everybody that's attending, and keep participating and sending us suggestions.
Yep. Thanks everyone. Thanks Tim. Thanks
Yep.
Greg.
Bye.
Bye.